and recording unit 4 for the day, the first day, treatment flow. So we're going to have a look at now taking on the client, working with them, and how we kind of, the structure about all of that as a professional practitioner. So it all starts with attracting the client somehow, the mysterious attraction of the client. Then after the attraction of the client, we have some kind of an interview or, conversation, usually. First contact where they decide if they want to work with us and we decide if we want to work with them. So when we pass that, there's kind of paperwork for intake of the client where we get their background details, their contact information, anything that's important we need to know. And then as we begin to work with them, the first phase, before we do even looking at their problem, is the teaching phase about modern energy. So and we're going to break these down in a moment. And so after the teaching phase, then comes the tapping team, where you now get together, synchronize, and you start to do some work together about the client's problem. As you evolve, then there'll be a kind of a future planning. What do we do next? What's the next plans, whether that's homework or the next sessions, or we finish our sessions, what next? And then how do we keep in touch with our clients on an ongoing basis? So you can see that there's a flow in and a process, a steps that the client goes through, or we go with the client until they become somebody that we are in regular contact with, or is at some level. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, a lot of us have experienced that, but that's what you have ahead, Magdalena. So and lucky you have somebody booking any of your clients. They're doing the attraction at the center, I presume. So
yeah, but this is just the beginning, and eventually I want to be able to
break out on your own
clients. But yeah, I feel absolutely like I have no clue how to even approach that, and yeah, this is another thing that needs to empowerment.
Yeah. So the first thing, let's talk about attraction. So our energy, here we are, we want to start to help people and work with people, and running after clients is not what we do. It's a kind of a sign of our hunger and low energy state. We want to be in a higher state of attraction of clients. So we are going to be presenting ourselves through our Facebook pages, through our websites, through our videos, through our written communications, as we present ourselves and what we do and what we can offer. And so it's important that the energy that is communicated is attractive as we do our marketing activities. So if we look from the prospective client's point of view, what are they looking to see that would make the practitioner attractive to work with them? What do we need? So what do we need as practitioners that would make us more attractive from the client's point of view? Let's step into the client's shoes for a moment. There you are, you're thinking, okay, I finally got to get round to doing something about this problem because it's been going on for so long and the doctor's not helped me or whatever, or I'm struggling in my situation or change, and whatever it is that's happening, I'm now considering looking for some help because I can't do it on my own, or I don't want to do it, or I want to get past this into whatever the future. So, and I'm starting to look for help for that, to engage with somebody. What are you looking for, and what would make the practitioner attractive to you? What would you need to see? What would you need to be feeling as a prospective client? And where would you expect to be finding this information?
The big thing for me is congruency with practitioners. So the matching. If I meet somebody, I want to know that that's the person who is on their Facebook profile and is on their websites, and they're not all touched up, and there's professionalism, and then there's the disconnect of over the top professionalism. So like,
I'm not getting Kim's sound.
Aren't you? I don't know why.
I'm getting the sound. So, but there is Can you hear me, Gisela?
Yeah. Of course, I can.
Okay. So maybe just a little bit closer to the mic. Maybe try that. Is that better for you? Try again.
I'm actually not getting anybody's sound now that I've turned that off. Let me go here.
So say that again so Gisela can check her sound. Actually, could you try? I'm just going to try to mute you out, Gisela, to see if that affects the line. Okay, try again, Kim.
I've put a different headset on to see if that's better. Is
that better? Okay.
Yeah, it could have been the headset-y thing was just struggling. Yeah. So I was just saying that it's the congruency between how the practitioner presents themselves and what I'm going to get when I walk through their door. And so it's professionalism, but also the warmth, the compassion.
Authentic, warmth and compassion, professionalism, and authentic, realness. Being real. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. Think about what that means about us, how we want to be that in the public profile. Anything else we'd be looking for?
Price.
Yeah. We would want to know the fees, and so be able to know those in advance or have access to that information. Sure. Maybe have some options about price. Anything else we want to know? I think I would like my practitioner to have a higher, like a happiness energy, not just warmth, but to have energy, some vitality energy, so that they've got energy to work with me. What else would you be looking for that would make an attractive practitioner?
Confidence.
Their confidence, yeah. So how would you get to know their confidence? Let's say if you're doing research and looking online or whatever, what would give you that indication? Maybe in the... Sorry.
Maybe some testimonials, but otherwise not directly.
Some testimonials and otherwise?
Not directly, because if you haven't met them.
Yeah. They might have some videos though. You might be able to see them on video somewhere that you could get a feel for their energy. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. So you could get a sense of their confidence and their energy. Anything else? You might even want to, have some kind of a sense of working with them before you work with them. I don't know if there's anything like, a freebie thing. Have they got any freebies that they can offer me that I can try them out before I engage them? That would be interesting for me to consider as a prospect.
Say that again. I didn't get it.
Do they have any free things that I can help with to try, see how they are? Having a free session, an invitation for a free session, it's okay to call me for a chat, to let that be easy, to let it be known and let it be easy. That I can call for a no obligation, like a mini consultation to see if we're a good fit. And it's interesting that we may offer that as a practitioner, but we might not make it publicly visible that the client knows that. So that's interesting, isn't it, about how we present what we offer and making it clear. Anything else that would make the practitioner attractive to us? Testimonials, actually, that kind of came up. I think that's nice. You know, we might have testimonials somewhere accessible on the website. So, and what else about, you know, as a client, where would we expect, if we're looking for help, where would we expect to find them? You know, what would be, how would we go about it as a client?
So the advertising in either doctors' surgeries or chiropractors, or on Google searches, or word of mouth.
Yeah, so are there any registers, local registers we could be on of practitioners that people might go and, you know, because they'll come up in the search results.
Professional organisations they're members of.
Yeah, what associations are a member of, yeah. And so if we're searching for help, or we might stumble across their website if we're looking for help with a particular problem, so that their website's got some interesting articles on it that's relating to our personal, you know, situations possibly. So there's quite a lot of things, isn't it, if you will start to look at it from the client point of view. So how do we feel about that as a practitioner? You know, how much of that to become attractive? If we think how attractive we feel to the client right now, that's an interesting one. How do we feel on the Sue scale? And you don't have to say it out loud. However, you can realize what it is.
I don't want to face it today.
Yeah, it's your birthday.
Tomorrow.
You don't have to. You can do whatever you like today. Okay, so let's just do a round on attractive to the client, feeling attractive, being attractive, and let that trigger and stir on, you know, help us to get some energy flow about being attractive. And yeah, and what some of the things within there, what do we say? Warmth, compassion, happiness, confident. Well, what was that, Prabha?
Congruence.
Congruence, authentic. Okay, so let's just do a round on picking up a few of those. And so, attractive to my clients.
Attractive to my clients.
Attractive.
Attractive to my clients.
To my clients.
Attractive to my clients.
Attractive to my clients.
To my clients.
It's even coming to me, even in the words I write, you know, what is the energy conveyed by the communication and the language that I'm using? Attractive to my clients. Attractive.
Attractive to my clients.
Attractive. And what that means, warm and compassionate.
Warm and compassionate.
Warm.
I am warm and compassionate. I am magnetic.
Magnetic. Magnetic. Yeah. Likable. Yeah, likable. Yeah, I like her. Yeah, I like working with her. Trustworthy.
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 Everybody wants me.
Everybody loves me. Yeah, that's a good one. Everybody loves me. Everybody wants me. Wow, that's an awesome thing to have on. Everybody loves me. Everybody wants to work with me. Everybody loves me. Everybody wants to work with me.
Everybody wants to work with me.
Everybody loves me, and everybody wants to work.
Everybody wants to work with me. Everybody loves me.
And from the client again, happiness. Yeah, happy practitioner.
Happy practitioner.
Happy practitioner.
practitioner.
I'm a happy
I'm an
practitioner.
energized practitioner.
Energized energist. Yeah, an energized energist.
Energized.
A happy practitioner. Yeah. Success and confidence.
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 Success.
I easily receive testimonials.
Yeah, lots of testimonials without having to ask. Spontaneous, volunteered testimonials
Spacious
from clients.
volunteers, testimonials.
Yeah, this is good. Honest, unauthentic.
Honest and
Honest and authentic.
honest and authentic.
And loves her work. You know, loves her work, loves her work, loves her clients.
Lots of income.
Lots of work, lots of plans.
Lots of income.
Success. Yeah, so abundant.
Success.
Yeah, prosperous practitioner.
Abundant.
Successful.
Successful and prosperous. Yeah,
Financially stable and secure.
yeah.
Financial.
Professional. We haven't tapped. Professional. Professional. Experienced.
Experienced.
So actually that's an interesting one for like a new person. You know, you might think, oh, if I haven't got the experience, but if a client is looking at someone with experience and somebody with less experience, what are the also attributes that would be important? Why would you might engage the one with less experience? Maybe because of their honesty, their heart energy, their willingness to, you know, eagerness to work with you and to help. Actually, that openness and honesty will be appealing, isn't it? To work with somebody, even they're new. Enthusiasm, yeah. Enthusiasm and enthusiasm and passion, yeah. Yeah, affordable. Somehow, affordable. Affordable. Or value, good value. You know, like so the client can really trust they're going to get results. What's the word for that? So trustworthy. So something else about that. Trustworthy. Confidence in the process. Having confidence that the practitioner will, you know, can help you to bring about the changes you want.
Feeling safe with the practitioner.
Safety. Yeah, safety. Yeah, safety. Yeah. And
Feeling like the practitioner is a solution, delivers solution.
Yeah.
Even if because some people went to this one and this one and this one and didn't work or.
Yeah. So trust. So again, it's like, what's the client looking for? So we have to turn that around. What do we need is to be effective.
Effective, yeah.
Effective, yeah.
Effective.
Delivering results.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Effective, a good energist. Good energist, yeah.
Effective
energist. Effective energist, yeah. And something else came to me there. Good energist.
Intuitive.
Intuitive, yes. Intuitive, yes. Definitely intuitive and connected, you know, so one I can connect with. That's not going to be hiding behind their barriers, yeah. Connected with me. Make me feel safe, non-judgmental, completely compassionate, and with abundance of love and patience for me and my problems. Yeah, so that's a tall order, isn't it? But that's what we're looking for as a client. All of those things, you know, consciously and unconsciously, we're looking for all those things. if we're looking to engage. So now we've tapped, what's that done for your attractiveness? Has that made a difference on your feeling of how attractive am I to my clients? Yes, it has, hasn't it? Okay, so attraction. And so the other thing, again, is in the energy that, well, when we start to think about the clients we want to attract, and how we communicate through the media about ourselves and what we offer and tapping. There's the language and the images and the colors, you know, so that's part of the energy of our communication of how we present ourselves. So how we can be attractive, we can think about the images that we choose in our posts and articles. We can think about the colors. We can think about what state we're in when we write the web page, or we write the post, or we write the advert. You know, are we writing it from, oh, I'm a +2 or 3 and I'm writing my, you know, come and get some help about EFT, or am I a +8? Because the language you will use and the energy of your communication is very different. So again, what's attractive? You know, so that's also important for us to consider. So now, how attractive are we? I am attractive. Let's just claim that. I am attractive.
I am
attractive. I have all of those attributes. And continuing to cultivate them. I am attractive to clients. Attractive to clients. Quick round. I am attractive to clients.
I am attractive to clients.
I am attractive. Magnetic.
I am attractive and magnetic to clients.
I am attractive.
Magnetic to
I am
clients.
attractive. A client magnet, was that? That's
I'm
I
a
heard.
client magnet.
I am a magnet to clients.
Yeah, I'm attractive.
I am
Attractive to clients.
Clients.
A happy, warm, loving, successful, professional practitioner. Effective, energist, trustworthy, honest, authentic, attractive. That's good. That's done some good for our energy, hasn't it? It's done it good for mine.
Yes.
Okay, so now we've somehow, through our marketing, how we present ourselves online and in the various places people will search. So somebody contacts us, and so we have a chance to interview them and decide who we work with. So are there any things to consider about that? Do you just take everybody on? Are there any clients that you wouldn't want to work with or not feel comfortable working with? And what do you do? How do you handle that? And what affects your decision about who you work with that are affecting and influencing your decision?
Where there is no connection between you and the client, and you feel that you've done everything you could, and it's still like, you know, it's not working, you can feel that. That's basically, it's ethical to refer them, because otherwise it's losing their time, money, and...
Yeah. So this is after you had some sessions and then you decided to refer them after. What about at the beginning, in the very first interview? What would make you
sorry, I can't hear you now.
Because I'm not talking now. Yeah, go on. I'm waiting for you. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Actually, I think there is some difference between video and sound. So
there's a little time lag. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that if you feel that something is your personal limit, your personal barrier, and you don't want to, you know, you don't feel comfortable to work on some subject, so that would be...
So, for instance, if somebody, for instance, for me now, I might have taken them on before, but now if somebody wants some, you know, how to have more orgasms with more women or whatever, you know, be more successful in that, I would send them to Marika in South Africa for a session. She loves to do that, you know, so I'm happier with broken hearts, relationships, healing the marriage, helping to save the marriage and this kind of thing, and heartbroken, you know, healing people's when they're really struggling. So, you know, so you'll have your, you know, what you're happy to work with. So, and also you might get just a gut feel about something. Your intuition might say, there's something about this person that, you know, I think they might be better to work with X or Y, or I don't want to take them on. So you've got your kind of intuition and your kinds of clients and your comfort level, your competence level that you're at the moment. Or you could say, okay, I'll do my best, and you can do some, you know, evolution work for yourself in preparation for the client as well, if you then decide to take them on. How does our stress affect our decision making?
A lot. Strongly.
Yeah. Okay, so de-stress, you know, before you, to be in a good state when you're interviewing your clients as well. Okay, the actual intake, what are the things that we have to consider? Again, this is good for the new people, for, you know, Magdalena getting started. Some kind of client record keeping, you know, so an intake form where you can gather the background information, contact, reason for contacting you, maybe, you know, a little bit of their story they might want to share as background. We need to store that somehow, and capture that somehow. Payment issues, that once what I normally do is get that sorted out before they even come, so that it's paid in advance, so we can just straight into doing therapy work, and we don't have to deal with like the money issues at the end of the session, or anything is sorted out beforehand. That's my personal preference. Anybody else have a preference on that?
Same.
And making sure your fees and your options are clearly made, communicated in advance. So like I had somebody contact me the other day, a new practitioner, and she said, oh, I had this client, and it was, how long should a session take? It was 3 hours. It took 3 hours to do the session. How much should I charge her? So I said, well, whatever you have declared as your session fee in advance, that's what you have to charge her, because much as she's taken that time, you have allowed that time to be passed. And so if it's run, so you need to say in advance, if it goes on more than a session is X length of time, if it runs on more, then this is the time, this is how my rate per time. So it's known in advance with no surprises. So whatever the fees are, it should be clearly communicated. And
I'm sorry, can I have a question? Because basically, if you have someone else booked later on, you can't really, you know, make the session long.
You can't. Yeah, you can't. Yeah. But sometimes you can. I mean, some people don't have back-to-back sessions, so they have the option for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so, but if you are in situation that actually, basically, it needs to be. What is it usually? 50 minutes, 1 hour, like full hour longer?
Well, personally, my session is about an hour, and I allow myself to overrun up to 15 minutes. So, and then I say that's a session. If it ends up that they need more time than that, like an hour and a half or 2 hours, say somebody's traveling a long distance to see, I might suggest that they book a double session, because they've come in a long way to do the time. So I make it clear about that. But nowadays, personally, I usually offer, we're going to have a look at 3 session packages. You know, so we actually offer 3 packages, 3 sessions at a time to our clients. So, but a session for me, I would do about an hour up to an hour 20 is more than enough to do really good work. And you could do it in less, and less time would make you more efficient, actually. If you had like a back-to-back situation, you could have a shorter sessions, and especially with positives, you know, you could still be really effective in that time. But that's mine. Any others you want to suggest? Kim, what's your session time?
Yeah, generally an hour, sometimes to 90 minutes. I also offer breakthroughs, which I might do 3-hour session, but it's clear that it's a breakthrough and I charge premium for that. And we really smash, like if we're doing inner child work or something, it's in 1 session.
Yeah.
And so we're not worried about time.
Yeah. Okay. So again, that would be options, wouldn't it? So that would be part of your options available, clearly communicated, so people can know and not find out later. So how can we make all of this smooth and easy? You know, so it's not a tricky business. So it needs to be on your website somewhere. It needs to be communicated by email after the conversation, confirmed by email. So, or to be available, you know, somehow confirmed in writing for people what the options are. And intake forms, you might even ask somebody, you know, you could send me an email if you want to share any background information with me in advance. Send it me my email. Sometimes people do that with me. And or I might even send an intake form out in advance that they fill in, send me my email. So I've got like the basics, you know, I'm not sitting there wasting time taking their name and address, for instance. You know, I've got that somehow by email. So so think about how you can make that process smooth. Okay, let's come to the actual 3-session package. And here we go, three gifts. And the first one is getting to know each other and teaching modern energy and giving them their first tapping experience with positives and installing their power positive. That actually will take about most of that first session. Because what we want to do is let them understand the elements that we're going to work with them and empower them, and we're going to go into the details of that in a moment. The second is the problem then. So now session 2, we have an educated client. They know how to tap. They've done some homework. They've been using their power positives. They know about aspects and SU scales and events. And so now we say, okay, let's have a look at this problem. And it's already evolving because they've had some positive tapping. So let's have a look at this and how do we approach it, and start to work on the problem. And then the final session is follow up. And then where do we go from here? What still is needed? Where do we go from here, and what are the options? And it might be that's the end, or it might be we book another 3-session package, or it might be that they need to upgrade and come on a course or something, whatever that might be. Or it might be that they're empowered enough, but they still want some support, and we would encourage you to think about setting up a client regular tapping group that they could join and get ongoing support and inspiration to keep moving forward in their personal development. So those are the three elements. So let's just discuss this idea of a 3-session package. What problems does a 3-session package avoid, and what opportunities does it bring? Let's talk about the problems. What problems does having a 3-session package avoid?
Thinking you have to perform a miracle in the first session.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it avoids sloppy work of not teaching them properly because you're rushing in and trying to wave the magic wand and have it all done in unrealistic expectations on both parts.
Yeah.
Um,
Agreed. Yeah. What else does it avoid? People get in, if they don't get the results, thinking EFT's failed them, so, and having a bad impression of EFT. What else does it avoid?
Practitioner stress, huge practitioner stress.
And pressure.
Yeah. One session you feel like you've got to, it's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, good. What about opportunities and benefits that it brings?
Opposite. So a really grounded, well-taught client who knows how to do EFT for the or modern energy tapping, for the future.
An educated client that you can work with and cooperate and find your way through their problem because they know the same language. Yeah. Anything
Probably
else?
the evolution of a problem. If you're working on one problem for a session, there would most probably be quite a good evolution on that problem.
Yeah, a very good result for their situation because you've had the time to work and to evolve and follow through. Yeah. Any other benefits?
Client commitment as well. If a client shows up with you for 3 times, there's definitely a relationship and they're committed to their own healing journey. So there's a deeper connection and a deeper bubble.
Absolutely, and that works both ways, not just for the client, but the practitioner. It's more satisfying, it's more enjoyable. You have a relationship with your client and you can see them along their journey more. So it's more enjoyable and more chance to work with them. And they've committed to the process, like having a 3-session package. So their engagement and their commitment is really good too. So the 3-session package, interestingly, I'll share my own history as a practitioner. In the beginning, I used to just do 1 sessions. And all these people who were doing 3 sessions and 6 sessions, I used to think, oh, I'll never be able to, nobody will ever book those sessions with me. And so when I started to offer 3-session packages, which are the other advantages, payment in advance, you give a discount, so a cheaper pro rata rate, but paid in advance in full. So it's good for cash flow for your business as well. So I started to offer it. You can book 1 session at this rate, or you can book 3 sessions at another rate, paid in advance, with no expectations. Everybody booked the 3-session package. Everybody. It was like I was surprised. I was surprised. And the 1 session, I used to often wonder. I wonder how they got on. I wonder did that change that we did. I wonder how they got on. And the 3-session package also allows you to see it through and know more confidently that they've really made some changes. So it's actually desirable for the client as well. Okay, so modern energy and the client. So we're looking at the teaching modern energy to the client. So in session 1, the core things are the energy chart, the aspects model, the idea of a +10 healing event. That's where we're aiming for to lead the person to. This will help the client understand how you're working with them and cooperate together and empower them. Mm-hmm. And then, because they understand, they'll remember and they'll do it for themselves. And then they're more likely to come back, because when they get in trouble in their life again or stressed, they know why they're stressed and they know the way out of stress, and they can come back. So here's some examples. The Sue scale. These are the points to teach. We've got an energy body. When it's stressed or injured, we have our stress emotions. when it's happy, we have our positive emotions. We've got different aspects in different energy states, so we have different personality that explains lots of things in our behavior. We've got the energy chart showing us how we think and feel and act according to energy, and we've got tapping to remove blockages and improve the flow and rise up the energy chart to become a better person. So as we explained the energy chart, we went through that earlier, people are going to ask about this. So what's that about? So explain it to them, and that this is the roadmap to the solution of their problem. It's just more energy. So can you remember the first time you got introduced to the energy chart and the realization that your energy was the key factor that influenced everything, and the significance of that to you? Can you remember how it made you feel? What impact it had on you? I remember when it was in the master's course, EFT master course, and looking at the energy chart as the appendix, you know, of that particular chapter it appears in. And the first time I saw that, it was like, oh my God, that explains everything.
Mm.
Oh my God, that explains everything. And all these different symptoms, when you hear someone on the news, some woman's gone on holiday and left her 2 kids, they're neglected. What kind of woman, mother can do that? You know, and all the judgments that we have about people just turned into, so she's a -7. You know, because a +7 would never do something like that. So you it changes the way that you look at yourself and look at other people and understand behavior. So when you introduce this to your clients, they're going to have the same reorganization in their mind of understanding themselves and others. So it's really important. So energy chart, the aspects model. Let's just have a change of voice there. Kim, just sort of, these are the elements to, you know, to impart to your client, to teach to them. 76.
What page am I on?
76, yeah.
The energy chart example. So the energy chart helps us measure our energy states. It helps us understand how our thinking, feeling and actions are linked to our energy states. The energy chart and its shortened versions, the pyramid model and the Sue scale gives us a new way to talk about our problems altogether. It gives us a new language to describe people. It gives us a new way to think about people. The energy chart is the key to a new way of understanding our problems. And it's also the key to a new way of solving our problems.
So from there, as you engage and you share this with your new client, you can say, well, the problem, where are you on the chart? Okay, where do you want to be? And then what do we need to do to get you there? So the logic starts to appear to the client. Prabha, what about page 77, aspects model? We want to teach, these are the elements to teach about the aspects model.
Have infinite aspects as we go through life.
Mm-hmm.
We and I are only right here, right now. Everyone else is a past aspect or a future aspect. This is a structurally sound way of thinking at all times. This is especially useful when we think about energy body events of the past. It is also critical when we think about aspects of the future. Teaching the client the aspects model puts the client in control of their own aspects. It also allows them to think of other people in terms of aspects. And the aspect model allows us to work successfully with the timeline. Use the aspects model and make sure the client gets used to using the aspects model too.
Yeah, so again, that's what we want to teach to the client in the first session. So the energy chart and natural intelligence. So energy body stress and physical stress gets in the way of our being amazing person that we are, the amazing being that we are, and how we can perform. So that applies to not only to the client, but to the practitioner. So as we move up the energy chart, we get a better client and we get a better practitioner. So we don't have to do all the thinking and the creativity. The client can participate in their healing process by being a more energized client and thinking about their aspects and their sue state, and they can be engaged in that process as an intelligent, educated client. So clients can work out ways to solve their own problems, and we can help them solve that. Even young children can understand the energy chart and communicate about it. Okay, so new goals beyond zero. We've got a
Can I
sound?
ask a question? Have I got sound? No.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do we still use the energy body stress chart, you know, where we have all the written -10 to +10s on that, on the PDF form? Is that still?
Yeah.
Can we what? Can we what?
Yeah. You could, if you have your, like an MSM book, you know, in a nice printed form, then you could use that to demonstrate that. But these, you know, these charts and images in the book, you know, you by having your manual present, you can turn over and have a look at the charts. And by the way, Magdalena, as a licensed practitioner, you can use all the images that come with the course to use them under your license. So you can create handouts for your client as well. Although there is also a GOE Modern Energy Introduction, which is like a free booklet that has all of these things in it. So you could give that as a freebie away, and they could see these things. But you could work with these images and concepts even out of your book. So yeah, you could use that, Kim, or you know, that's an interesting thing in the MSM booklet. You could use that. Or you can.
I think it was in Master Prac as well. I think it was in the Master Prac book as well.
It is, yeah. So, new goals beyond zero. So our goals are no longer feeling the absence of the problem. We want to feel the freedom, the happiness, the love, the empowerment of increasing the energy flow. And the energy body gets healed when we have enough energy flowing through it. So the amount of energy for creating a lasting change is a lot higher than we used to think. You know, how many times have we finished at +4 or +5 and we think the client's healed because they feel so good after their transition from a -5 to +5, and we thought that's enough. But how many times has the problem recurred and repeated later on? Because we didn't take it all the way to a healing event. So when we actually bring about that +10 and the amount of flow that is happening, then there's a lasting change and the person has actually evolved. That's the threshold shift. So, so we're looking, these are the goals. So we can expect to be surprised and have powerful energy events that we create together in our sessions, and therefore expand what's possible. Okay, so then we want to introduce tapping itself to the client. So we've introduced the elements of modern energy. So you're going to teach about tapping to the client is important, because they're going to copy that when they from there on in. So very quickly, I'll just show you what I do. I know some of you are familiar already, but teaching to do tapping for the first time. So we start with the heart position. Your dominant hand over your heart and the other hand on top. And feel your connection with your heart. Take a deep breath. Don't need to rush this, because it feels good. We have a setup, which is what we want to focus on, what we want to bring more of. I want more energy, for instance. We speak it out loud, because that evokes the energy. So the first time we speak it out loud is to evoke the energy. The second time, say it out loud again, I want more energy. And now feel the meaning of the words. Okay, and now the third time, we're going to say it again, and not only feel the meaning, but see if you can trace the resonance of those words in your body as a movement in your body. Want more energy. Okay, so I'm using the heart position to get the client connected with their energy body, to get out of their head and just tapping on a few words, to tapping on the real feeling that they want to experience. So, or you can skip all of that, as people do, and they miss out on a big opportunity. So then now your client is connected in with their energy body and their feeling. Now as they start to tap, they're just assisting that process even more. So you'll feel that they're more connected as they're tapping. So more energy, give them permission to move, to breathe, encourage them. Do you notice giving good feedback is important too? So, so starting with the heart. Now, has everybody taught somebody how to tap before? Has anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I did.
You did?
Yes.
Everybody has?
Oh, good.
Yeah, is that a yes for everybody?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't need to do that. But I just wanted to reinforce that first part, because often I see people skipping that, and there's a big opportunity to connect in that sense. So the tapping team here now, we've done our modern energy education. We've given them their power positive. They've had their first tapping experience in session 1. Now they come in for their second session, and we're now working as a team to investigate the problem. So, so we're working together on the problem as practitioner and the client. And this, the connection we have between the practitioner and the client, the energy bubble, that's what we mean by the tapping team. So now we've got an educated client, a powerful practitioner to investigate the problem together for a great result. And the third session is future planning. So after they leave the second session, we will be giving them some homework. Homework might be simply using their power positive for stress management. It might be using positives to continue the process that they're in the middle of. It might be to just observe themselves and identify other areas to work on in the next session. It might be finish off, we got to a +6, and we've run out of time, carry on tapping to see if you can reach a +10, how high you can go if we didn't have time to do it in the session. That would be good homework as well. Okay, and so future planning then, after the work is finished, what are the options? Do they need another session, another package? Are they finished? Are they empowered and finished? How will we keep in touch with them afterwards? What mechanism will you have to keep in touch with your clients? Do you have one? There's a practical thing there. Do you have a mechanism for keeping in touch with your clients afterwards? Do you? I'm asking you.
Oh, yes. Yes.
What's your mechanism, Kim?
Email. And I had them in Facebook groups at one stage.
Okay, okay. Does everybody else have? Unmute yourself, Prabha.
Just WhatsApp. I check every few or months on how they're doing on WhatsApp, because I don't have too many clients, so I can do it. I suppose if I had many, then I'd have to have an automated system or something like that. So I just check on WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp, yeah. Okay, so in individual connections or in a group? Individual, yeah. Okay. So any other ideas? Email, Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups. Any other ways that we could keep in touch with them?
I suppose if you might, like, most of my stuff is online at the moment, but if I decided to do more like live stuff, one-on-one stuff, I would probably look at a healing circle once a month live at a venue, just to bring a heap of people together and do, like you said, the monthly tapping.
Yeah, that would be nice. You know, especially in all the days of disconnection through, you know, technology, to actually have a proper get together on a regular basis is extremely valuable these days. I actually have, for my, you know, my clients from my professional courses, I have a Metp monthly tapping group, so which meets on the last Monday of the month, and that's been running since February, which is really great. So we kind of continue our professional and personal development. So for clients to have something like that is good for their development. What are the other benefits? What about you? How good is it for you?
Exactly. Well, you keep in touch with them for a start, so you're just there if something is needed for more packages to be presented to them. If they have a life crisis or something, there's word of mouth about how amazing you are. There's just lots of juicings. Yeah.
Yeah, plus personal enjoyment as well of the relationships with your clients and their journey. Okay, so finally, I think, professional energy work in the flow. So all the steps from the beginning to ongoing client need to work flow freely and have a good energy about them each step. So so you being happy in your work is important. Your own personal happiness matters, and then that will help the flow. So so that's covered quite a lot. Now there's the practical things there, Magdalena, going into practice for the first time. If the rest of us have got some, you know, had some experience in practice with EFT and tapping, has that added some extra, you know, practical ideas for you in the setting up and getting going? Magdalena. Has that been a useful, for structuring, thinking about the client flow from the first contact through to the being an ongoing client, the 3 package sessions, what we're trying to do, educate the client, work with them, teach them tapping, and then follow up and look after them after. I know we haven't done lots of the techniques yet, that's to come. So day 1 is like putting the framework together. Has that been helpful to prepare you for going into your new practice?
Yes and no, because like I said, it wouldn't be me who will be booking them. So now I'm thinking that I need to make sure that on the advertising page there's an information that it will be free sessions package.
Yeah.
What would be, and moreover, there is no option to do the payment ahead, unfortunately, because basically the system they use for booking clients doesn't allow that, and they would like that, to be honest, because that would reduce the client's cancellation. So
yeah,
but at the time being it's impossible, so I need to think about that. I mean, how to actually approach that. And yeah, I think I like the idea about that. It's basically it's cheaper if it's paid as a free sessions package than each separately. So yeah.
So,
but later on about keeping in touch, another thing, I'm not sure if I will have any, I can obviously ask them to share an email, for example, because I'm planning in the future to start a group or something like that. But it's, their free will. So, because like I said, again, I won't be able to, have, their details.
Yeah, that's because you're working at a clinic center as opposed to your own private practice. Yeah, okay. So the rest of us will have the ability, but you would need to ask them to sign up to your list separately to keep in touch with you for future things. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we've covered about being a modern energist, that where our job is looking after the energy body and bringing more happiness, starting on the right side of the SU scale ourselves, bringing the clients through, and being a powerful tapping team to bring about change, and that every client is our own personal evolution, and that we're bringing about a joint +10 healing event together. So tomorrow, as we begin putting like the flesh on the bones, if you like, so today is like orientation, basics, practical things, and then we start to look at all the different approaches and tools that we have to work with the clients from their different starting points. Some people will have an event on a memory they want to work with. Some people will have sort of body, feel it in their body strongly. Some people will present their problem in lots of different ways. So we're going to now build our toolkit for working with the client within the session that we've got. Okay, so was that a good kind of refresher, bringing it together, Dave, from the past energy EFT master studies years ago, bringing you up to date to the modern energy kind of presentation of everything, all that information, and future orientation, working with different ways, and structuring our sessions with our clients. So then we're now going to add techniques to that starting from tomorrow, or sort of different kind of ways of approaching the problem within working with positives. Okay then, so we're over a little bit on our time, sort of for 3:20. I hope that's all right with everybody. And thanks for accepting to go over. Any questions before we finish today? No?
All good. Thank you.
So far.
Yeah, for now.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, so good. Yeah. Okay. We'll
Surprise!
So, what would be great, Gisela, if possible, and it may or may not be possible, but if between now and tomorrow, it would be really nice to see you more clearly. I don't know if it's a focus.
I don't know what happened. Like in the beginning of the week, it was okay. Yesterday was not. Was like this, and I couldn't get to. But I'll try again because I noticed yesterday. But from yesterday to today, my effort was not well succeeded.
Somebody might have just come along with their thumb and like.
Well, I already cleaned it. That was my first option.
Okay. So the other thing is, if you look at somewhere about the camera for your laptop. Or your device,
I already did that, but I'm going to explore more.
Focus, yeah. Just so it'll be nicer for us. You can see us, but we'll be nicer for us if we can see you more clearly. Yeah. Thank you for that. So,
well, I'm still burning today. Probably it's that I'm not well. Still being delivered today. So I'm not as defined as you are, girls.
Born today.
Like my birthday.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Tomorrow will be better.
Yeah. Well, thank you for spending your birthday with us. And
well, it was a pleasure.
Yeah. So is the time okay for tomorrow for everybody? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Magdalena is okay. The 7 a.m.
Well, 8 a.m. would be better, but if it's impossible, then well, let's keep 7.
What time is it now for you, Kim?
2:30.
No, it's like for me. Where are you?
Yeah, in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's 11:30 at night. So
it's now 11:30.
Yeah.
So that extra hour forward has a big impact on the other end. So probably we'll go with, this is probably the best option we can, with sort of UK and Australia, the beginning and the end are the ones that's got the most challenge. So thanks for accepting that then. Is that going to be okay, Magdalena?
Well, I try. I mean, today was, I'm not gonna lie, today was a struggle because I'm still like, I'm not my 100%, but well, I will try to get better sleep and more sleep.
Early night. Yeah.
I mean, someone helped for, in my not really, well, basically I was walking last night in the middle of the night, so. Yeah, shared accommodation,
Yeah, Okay then, so same time tomorrow morning then. Thanks everybody, and have a good rest. Good night and have a good evening and afternoon.
Yes.
Bye.
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 Happy birthday.